गजाननं भूतगणातिसेवितं कपित्थजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजम् आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् आर्तानामार्तिहन्तारं भीतानां भयनाशनं विशतां कालदण्डं तं रामचन्द्रं नमाम्यहम् रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। कुजण्डं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता शाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीके मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिं गोष्पदीकृतवारीशं वशकीकृतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्देरिलात्मजम् अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम्. One of the stories in northern tradition is that during the wedding of Rama and before, just at that time of the wedding of Rama and Sita, for what reason Sumitra gave, I don't know, but Kaikeyi gave Sumitra, and Sumitra gave this to Sita for Muh Dikhai. Muh Dikhai is a northern tradition that the bride will be sitting with the pallu right across her face, will have to show the face. So, for her, that great honor, great favor that she is doing, you always reward her with mother-in-law or whoever is from the other side, sister-in-law, all of them will shower her with gifts. So, this was given to Sita during the Muh Dikhai is one tradition in North Indian Katha. So anyway, so she says, I have given this. And just as he was now, he says, okay, now of course, he's now getting ready to leave. I mean, he's really, everything he has done. I mean, he's waited, he's talked, she's also requested him last time very pathetically, can you stay one more day? All that. Now he's again getting ready to leave. So again, once she knows, now that she is leaving, so again she's got tears in her eyes. And one last time she tells him, her voice still faltering, saying, please do convey to the lion-like brothers Rama and Lakshmana. Please convey to Sugriva, please convey to his ministers my greetings and my good wishes for Hanuman. Hanuman, you should so manage matters that Raghava comes here as soon as possible. And when you are with Rama, please tell him about the torture that I am undergoing here. Please tell him about the continuous threats of the Rakshasis. And may you fare well, O best of apes. And having now got the permission to leave, and the message from Sita, Hanuman was very happy. He felt his purpose had been achieved. He was in his thoughts already journeying towards the north. Sachavaghi prasastabhir gamishyanya pujitastaya tasmadesharapa brahma chintaya masavanara. Such a Vagmi Prashastabir Gamishyan Pujitastaya. She had been praised by Sita like this. She had praised him, and high words of praise she had offered him. And he was now starting, and at that time he told himself, as he was starting, Alpasheshamidam karyam drishteyam asitekshana Trinupayanatikramiya chaturtha iha vidyate. Drishteyam asitekshana. Now that the black-eyed beautiful Sita has been seen, there's something, they keep saying, Sita has got something about her black eyes which is also very beautiful. She is often referred to as that. So now that she has been seen,
One may say that his project is over. I mean, he had come to locate her, he has located her, he has given her Rama's message, he has taken her message, everything is done. All he has to do is to make one heave, jump, go back. At the time he is thinking still. Buddhimatam varishtham. And he says, Alpashesham idam karyam. He says, a small matter is left. I have not yet completed what I should. There is some small amount of work that is left. And for that matter which is left, out of the 4 ways in which one has to deal with matters, the first 3 would be not of useful here. I think the 4th one alone would be of use. I have to adopt the 4th. न सामरक्षस्सु गुणाय कल्पते न दानमर्थोपति अचितेषु युज्यते सभेद साध्या बलदर्पिता जनाः पराक्रमस्त्वेव ममेह रोचते न सामरक्षस्सु गुणाय कल्पते. The first of the 4 experiences is Sama. The Sama, Dana, Bheda and Danda. Sama means you have to persuade, reason, convince other person that this is what you should do. You must study properly. With the Rakshasa, the gunas, that the kind of fellows that the Rakshasas are, it won't work. Sama won't work. Dadana marthopachiteshu yujyate. And Lanka, Ravana's kingdom, if you study, I will give you 5 rupees, won't work. Dana won't work. They will not be listening that Rama will give you money and all that, return. Won't appeal to them. They are not looking for money. They are wealthy beyond measure. Third, na bheda sadhya balatarpita jana. These people who are so intoxicated with their own strength are real Lanka, ruled by Ravana, that it won't work. That also won't work. Bheda, that if you don't study, the neighboring child will get more marks than you. Your sister will come first, you will not, you will be in the last row. All that won't work. These fellows are Ravanas, Baladarpita. They are. We saw the scenes when Hanuman was walking into Lanka. What all was happening in Lanka? Night time. Lanka by night we saw. So he says, Parakramastu eva mameha rochate. Only force to me appeals. That's the only way to deal here. Force. What I must do is, I must kill some foremost of Rakshasas. If I do that, that will be a good way of forcing some doubt in these Rakshasas. कार्ये कर्मणि निर्दिष्टे यो बहून्यपि साधयेत् पूर्वकार्याविरोधेन सकार्य कर्तुमर्हति. He defines who is a person who is actually truly fit for doing a task. That definition he gives. Hanuman. So you all of us, you give task to somebody. Who is the person who is most fit to do the task? That definition Hanuman gives. Karye karmani nirdishte. That work has been told and saying this has to be done. Having heard that, the person who has been entrusted with the task, he achieves other objectives too, which are not in conflict with this objective, which are in addition to this objective, and do not undermine this objective. Having achieved this objective, which is in line with this objective, and furthers this objective, you achieve that also. Such a person is truly fit to be given the task. Hanuman's definition of his own, what he has to do now. So he says, even a small objective task is not to be gained unless you employ. It's not to be gained by just using single means. You have to use multiple means for achieving objectives. So he who realizes that multiple means are needed to gain one's end is one who knows his business. So he says, if I could assess while I am here the relative strength of these Rakshasas, their army, and then I return to Sugriva, then I would have truly done what my master asked me to do. Now, how am I going to get these people to come and fight with me? There is this next one. If I could do that, then I can give a display, and the 10-headed one would also know something about my strength. And he could see for himself how he will compare with mine. If I confront in the battlefield his top ministers, commanders, all of them now, and take them on and see how he reacts, what does he do, what Ravana does, etc., then I can assert his thinking. I can ascertain his mind, his way, his approach, his reactions to battle, his trends, etc., before I go back. So what should I do? This is a lovely forest garden of Ravana, his private forest garden, the best of his pleasaunces, as they are called, Ashokavanika, huge forest garden, beautiful, beyond measure, trees and fountains and lakes and ponds and huts and mansions and artificial mountains and waterfalls and birds and wild animals and all kept in captivity, all kinds of beautiful, all regular animals, deer, all that beautiful place, beyond measure. It is very pleasing to the mind. It is as beautiful as Nandavanam that we hear of in Devalokam. Now, if I destroy it, decimate it, like as if it's dry wood. Now, that should set the cat among the pigeons. And he will order a huge contingent of soldiers to come and fight with me. He'll send his horses and his elephants, he'll send his chariots, he'll send all that. And then there will be fun. Then there will be battle. In the Ramcharitmanas, he asks Mother Sita, at this point in time, before this, that Sita Devi, only now I realize I'm terribly hungry. So with your permission, this Ashokavanika has got so lovely fruits. Can I eat some? So she says, yours. You eat. You eat. He says, good. And he jumps and starts smashing the trees to eat. So that's how he starts there. Here he doesn't say all that. He's just thinking to himself. So, he first works himself out into a towering rage. And all he gets does that. And then he goes and with a whip of his thighs, he catches a huge tree and whoa, he throws it into the sky. One huge tree just smashes and throws it. And then after that is Vayu Bhagavan after all. After that his speed is not even seen. He's just smashing everything inside. You're breaking down everything, every tree, every creeper, every flower. He had no mercy on that Ashokavatika. all the pools breached and made them splash out. There's no water left there. The artificial hills he pounded and made them into dust. They're already reduced to sea level. He went berserk, smashing everything in that place. And Valmiki says that the creepers, which are all nicely, going up the tree, etc., they looked as if they're all shivering, as if some women, who have been in distress because their clothes are in disarray because of attack. So they'll be standing like that. The creepers are standing. So he was going berserk in that Ashoka Vatika. By the time he ended, very short time, not too much time, suddenly it was a place of desolation. And the birds and all, love birds, they're all soaked and intoxicated, nicely singing birds. It's all chaos. They're all shouting up in the air, what's happening? I mean, where are we and all that. And the snakes, which have been kept nicely here and there, and the wild animals in captivity, they're all crying in distress. Ki ye kya hua? All of them are shouting. The birds are screaming. The trees and all are being laid low. All of that is happening. And then all that, there were art galleries and all. He just smashed art galleries. What? He just smashed everything in Ashoka Vatika. Whatever, super speed. And there was this huge outer gate of Ashoka Vatika. Having done all that in no time, he jumped and sat down on top and said, let's see. One against many, no problem. We will take them on. Tata pakshirninadena vrikshabhangasvaneena cha babhuvastrasa sambranta sarve lanka nivasina. Suddenly, the inhabitants of Lanka had heard a noise that they never heard in their life. The cry of birds over the Lanka sky, screaming. And trees being boom, trees falling all over the place, sound of clamor of crashing trees. And they were all struck by terror, first by terror. All Lanka Nivas, he announced his presence. The whole of Lanka. And by this time, Rakshasis also woke up. The Rakshasis were protecting Sita or guarding her. They got up, and they saw, oh my God, they couldn't believe what they saw. One massive monkey. Oh God, sitting in the whole place has been reduced to nothing. The whole place has been reduced to nothing. And they beheld his mighty ape, looking on in anger. And then when he saw that these Rakshas are seeing me, he started growing more in size. He started growing in size. And the Rakshas, they know, they have very clear, they also got a job to do. So they are terrified, but that is no reason Ravana will ask them tomorrow. You can't tell them, I got scared. So they said, they're terrified, they don't know what to do, but they quickly run to Sita and they ask her, Koyam kasya kuto vayam kim nimittam ihagata katham tvaya sahanena samvada krita ityuta. They asked Sita, Koyam, who is this? Kasya, to whom does he belong? Kuto vayam, from where has he come? Kim nimittam ihagata, for what reason has he come here? And some of these Rakshasas realized that, when they were sleeping, they heard some conversation, long conversation. They thought it was a nice dream, etc. They were going on nicely dreaming. But that was no conversation. These very two people have been chatting all this time. So they realized that, and sharp women, Rakshasas are not fools. They are Ravana's handpicked Rakshasas. So they realized that this lady has been up to no good. You never trust this Sita. When we are sleeping, she's been talking to this bloody ape, and this ape has done this. So they asked her, you have been speaking to her now. What have you been speaking to her? You tell.